This video may contain redundant tedium. Viewer is advised. Now the lighting on our MSI motherboard is color pulse on the water block that's plugged into the RGB JRainbow 2 header. Alright. Clicking the keyboard profile button right now, and you can see it up in the top left, it's cycling through all of the different profiles.
Cross all the T's.
And battle the eyes. Alright.
So we're going to take another look at getting Corsair iCUE to detect and control the motherboard RGB header lighting on an MSI motherboard. There's still some systems that are having some issues getting it detected. To try to cross all the T's and dot all the I's, we're going to start from the ground floor. On this particular system that we're using as a reference, the BIOS, the UEFI, is set to UEFI mode. To check this on your system, if you're on Windows 10 or 11, just hold down the Windows key on your keyboard, press the S key. That's going to open up the Windows search. You can just do a search for MS Info. That's going to suggest a best match. System Information app. Click that System Information app. That's going to open up a summary screen. Look for BIOS mode. BIOS
mode.
Here on this system, you can see it says UEFI. So that's what we want to shoot for, so that we're all on the same page as far as how the BIOS UEFI is communicating with the rest of the system. On this reference system, it's set to UEFI. So that's the first thing we want to check. Then what we're going to do is we're going to restart the system. Because on a lot of these MSI motherboards, there is an RGB LED control at the BIOS UEFI level. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that's activated, and if it isn't, activate it. And if it is activated, let's go ahead and reset it. I'm going to turn off the RGB LED lighting on this system. If you already have it on, turn it off. Save that. Load into the operating system so that MSI Center, the Mystic Light module, Corsair iCUE, all detects that there's no RGB lighting on this motherboard. Restart the system, re-enable RGB from within the BIOS, and let the system register the newly activated RGB LED from the BIOS UEFI level. The first thing we're going to do is restart the system. Once we restart the system, to enter the BIOS on an MSI motherboard, click the delete key. So what you're going to do is you're just going to keep pressing the delete key as the system is starting before it gets to the Windows loading screen. And that's going to get you into the BIOS. Once we're in the BIOS, what we want to do is make sure that we're in easy mode. So to get from advanced mode to easy mode or easy mode to advanced mode, you just press F7 on this motherboard. It usually will tell you the hotkeys at the top of the UEFI start screen. You should be able to go down to the lower right. There should be an RGB LED radio button where you can turn on and off the RGB LED lighting at the BIOS UEFI level. On this system, it's currently enabled, so we're going to disable it. Turn off the RGB LED lighting from the easy mode menu and save the BIOS settings. You may be able to just exit and quit, and then it saves it automatically, but we're going to save it so that it goes back through, reboots, and re-registers the system without the LED controls enabled. So we're going to save it from the advanced menu, and it's going to tell us we don't have any changes, but it should still save deactivation of the RGB LED lighting. Once the system reboots, we're going to let it go into Windows with deactivated RGB LED lighting on the motherboard. We're going to let Corsair start up, iCUE, MSI Mystic Light module, MSI Center, SDK. We're going to let everything just
Load up.
Once everything registers the newly configured system without the LED lighting, and restart the system again. Back into the BIOS, pressing the delete key as the system is starting. Go back to the easy mode and re-enable RGB LED lighting from the BIOS level. Click Save and Exit. Once the system reboots, let it load into Windows. We're going to let all the background programs
Load up.
registering the newly configured system, which is now with RGB LED lighting functionality reactivated. Go through the 4 steps we mentioned in the previous troubleshooting video when Corsair iCUE stops recognizing the MSI motherboard. We're going to post a link to that video in the top right of this video. If you want to check it out, you can just click that link and it'll take you over to that video. For now, we're just going to run through it real quick. First, after the system loads, we're going to terminate iCUE. So after we terminate Corsair iCUE, reopen it. Click that video in the top right of this video and it will walk through these steps a little slower. We'll let it load for about 3 to 20 seconds, see if it detects the motherboard. If it doesn't, we're going to go ahead and terminate iCUE again. Open up Windows Services. So there's a couple different ways you can open up Windows Services. Again, we walked through it a little more slowly in that other video, so click that link in the top right if you want to walk through these steps a little more slowly. Go to the Services tab within Task Manager. We're going to go down and we're going to look for the MSI entries. We're going to restart MSI Center, MSI Case Service, and the Mystic Light Module Service. Once we restart those 3 entries, reopen Corsair iCUE and see if the motherboard is detected. We'll give it about 30 seconds. If it isn't, terminate iCUE again. Wait for the keyboard lights to flash. Should be about 3 to 10 seconds. That means the keyboard is reverting back to the onboard memory profile, signaling Corsair iCUE has fully terminated in the background. Go back into Windows Services, go to the C listings, look for Corsair and Corsair LLA Services. I think they added another one recently, did they? Yeah, called Corsair Device Lister Service. So we're just going to restart all 3 of those. Reopen Corsair iCUE. See if the MSI motherboard is detected. One more time. Right-click on the Corsair iCUE notification icon, select Quit. Go back to the Windows Services. Restart a couple of more services. We're going to go to the I listings. We're going to restart iCUE Device Plugin Host, and if that isn't started, go ahead and just start it. If it already is started, restart it. And then we're going to go to iCUE Update Service, restart that one, and if it isn't started, just go ahead and start it. Once both of those have been restarted, reopen Corsair iCUE. Click Corsair iCUE to reopen the iCUE app. Once the app reopens, let it load for about a minute. See if it detects the MSI motherboard. And don't worry if it doesn't, because on this system, none of this got it detected right away. We're just kind of getting the groundwork laid here. Once the minute has passed, go ahead and restart the entire system. Laying the groundwork. Let the system restart. It's going to restart the second time with the RGB LED lighting reactivated at the BIOS UEFI level. We reset all the services during the previous Windows session, and now it's just going to re-register everything with the system. Once the system's restarted, reopen Corsair iCUE and take a look and see if the MSI motherboard is now detected within the Corsair iCUE home screen dashboard. If it is, you're done. Now you can go in and start setting up your lighting. We'll link to the video where we walk through that in the top right of this video as well. It's called Steps to Get Corsair iCUE. And hopefully that's going to help some of the system owners out there whose systems are not responding to one of the original videos.
Alright.
Yeah.